Hello, everyone, and welcome to Armstrong in the Loop podcast. I'm your host, Seth Prentice. And today, I'm honored to be joined by Siggy Pehel, the president of Glade Run Lake Conservancy, and Karlee Holmes, the board member and the event coordinator for the 10th anniversary celebration. Siggy and Karlee, welcome to the show.
Hello there. How are you today?
Doing well. Karlee, it's finally great to have you to join us as well, because the last time Siggy and I talked last year, and you put us all in touch. So I'm glad that we could all be here together today.
Me too. It's wonderful to talk together, and we're excited to tell all of the listeners about our anniversary.
Well, why don't we start off with a little background again, because it's been about a year since we had Siggy on. So Siggy, what is the Glade Run Lake Conservancy, and what have you accomplished in the past 10 years?
Well, we established ourselves back in 2011, August of 2011, hence the 10th year anniversary this year. And we formed because they had drained Glade Run Lake down. It was labeled a high hazard dam. And what that means is that it posed imminent threat to people, animals downstream, that if not drained down and if the earthen dam were to break, it would have caused catastrophic problems for the people downstream. So what we did is we formed a group, 501c3, a nonprofit charitable organization through the IRS. We got a group of local people together, and within a short period of time, 2 years plus, we had 2,000 members and $300,000. We went out there and made it easy for people to join. We did a $10 per person membership, and I believe it was $20 for a family of 3 or more. And we got the people out and concerned about getting this lake back. Our mission as the Conservancy was to talk to a lot of local politicians, specifically Senator Randy Volakovich, who was our new senator then, who got the assistance of Scott Hutchinson, a state senator, and also Don White, who was a senior state senator at the time. The 3 of them lobbied then Governor Tom Corbett, got his attention, and with working with the politicians, we were able to leverage the money necessary to get the dam replaced and a new spillway put in. Without the efforts of those senators and also fish and boat officials, specifically one of the commissioners, Rocco Ali, he worked very hard behind the scenes with Senator Don White to get this done. So our mission back then was basically to repair the dam, get a new spillway in, fill it up with water. In a short period of time, which was April 2017, we officially reopened the lake. And that was our mission back at that time. And we do have another mission after that, which I'll talk a little bit later. But the bottom line was that we formed as a group of concerned citizens, and we made our politicians aware that we wanted this back. We had the numbers, we had some money, and we leveraged that to get that money that we needed to get the lake back, which was about $4 million, by the way.
Yeah, and that's no small task in itself. I will say, especially for our listeners, if they get a chance, going on your Glade Run Lake Conservancy website, you can watch the video of all the work that you've done. Take a look at that spillway, take a look, where you started from. What you've done out there is magnificent.
We have a 25-year lease with the Fish and Boat Commission and also Middlesex Township, which allows us to make improvements to the lake. Specifically, we've had 25 Eagle Scout projects, which are numerous, and I'll just name a few of them. Numerous benches have been placed in. A bridge, a 24-foot bridge was constructed. That was one of the first projects. Bog bridges, which are wooden planks over wet areas that allow people to walk on the 1 mile trail that we put in. They put in bat boxes, wood duck boxes. They've also put in a osprey pole on an island that we created when we dredged the short end of the lake. They've been very active with helping us out. There's also Eagle Scout projects in the lake, fish habitats that nobody can see, but we have over 150 fish habitats in the lake. The lake was recently used for the fishing university for a bass fishing off of a kayak. It was a half-hour show, I should say, that was shown on Armstrong and also a couple of other channels. And some of the people that participated in that said that this was a great little lake to catch bass, and they wanted to come back in 3 years after some of the bass had matured. So we've done a lot of things there. We've incorporated the scouts. We've had the high school involved. They had a high school leadership conference where we went out there and helped them construct catfish boxes as a project, a hands-on project. And this leadership conference was, I believe, 10 different high schools that came to Mars, and they needed a hands-on project. So we worked with them, and the kids put together 30 catfish boxes that we placed into the lake. So we've had a lot of community involvement, and I can't say enough about the businesses in this community and some of the organizations that have helped us. Paraca, Dave Meats, the Royal Grange, Sylvania Foundation. A lot of people have come forward and helped us to get to where we are today.
No, that's fantastic. And I can't not ask, only because I've never heard of one before. So what is a catfish box?
Well, it's basically a box with a hole in it that allows the catfish to go in and spawn and lay its eggs. And it's kind of like a nest for a fish, if you would. It's just a wooden box. It's probably about 2 feet long, maybe about 8 inches high, has a hole in it. But if it's placed down there in the weeds, it allows the catfish to have a place to nest.
I never knew such a thing existed.
I don't think fish nest, but to allow the fish to spawn, let's put it that way.
Right. No, that's fantastic. And you know, you wouldn't be here, neither of you would be here, you know, if it wasn't for the generous support from, you know, your partners. And, you know, we're thrilled to hear that, you know, you have all of this going on out there, and people should, you know, go out and see this, you know, this treasure that we have in the community, because, you know, for 10 years, you really are making a difference in improving our wildlife.
Well, we have had a counter of cars going across or into the park. Back in a study of 2005, they estimated that there's 16,000 people that visited the lake, and it brought in about $1.2 million in revenue from fishing license and boat license, and just assorted things like buying bait for your fishing. And the study that we did was over 4 months, and we had close to 18,000 people in the 4 months. So we can safely say, and feel very strong about this, that the numbers have tripled since 2005. We're close to 50,000 people visiting that lake. And at any given time, you can go up there and you're going to see 15 to 25 cars, people out on the lake in kayaks. It's a wonderful little place for people to meet, to go out, look at wildlife. If you're a bird lover, it's a perfect area for birds. And Karlee can talk more about that than I can. But it's just a wonderful little preserve. It allows people to get out of the city or in the local area here in southern Butler County to go to a small little lake where it gives you some privacy too. I mean, you can take the kayak into the shallow areas, and it's just wonderful. It's just a wonderful thing to have back. It really is.
Well, congratulations to all of you, because this wouldn't be, you know, even possible without your hard work and dedication to this. So congratulations, and thank you for the 10 years of doing this. And, you know, we're super excited about this anniversary, and what better way to talk about it as you have a special event coming up, and we'd love to learn more about it.
Yes, Seth, I'm excited. I've been anxiously waiting to talk about it here. It's going to be huge. Let's first talk about the date. So that's going to be August 29th of this year. Obviously, we're coming up very quickly. We have the whole day filled with events. So no matter what time you come, there's going to be something going on. We're telling people the main events are going to be between 10 and 6. So that way it's a school night. You can eat at a food truck, have dinner, come talk to us a little bit, enjoy the day, see what the lake looks like, what we do as an organization, and go home and get the kids in bed before school. So throughout the day, we're going, like I mentioned, we're going to have food trucks. So we have a piece of Italy Papa Wood Barbecue, Kona Ice, Shepherd's Coffee, which she will be there in the morning early for everyone that's fishing that day. And then we have Byra's Grill. So there's a little bit of everything for everyone. We are going to have a tent, so rain or shine, this event is happening. Some tables, chairs, people can get out of the elements, they can have a bite to eat. And throughout the day, we're going to be there as an organization, but other wildlife organizations in the area are going to be there too. So Fish and Boat was generous enough. They're coming, and they're not only coming to talk to people about the lake and about what fish are going to be in the lake, but they're also going to have some fishing rods. So that leads me into my next thing that's going on is we're having a 12 and older fishing derby, and that's going to be dawn to dusk. The unique thing about that is that, you know, we all know COVID's a thing. So some people are comfortable and some people aren't, but this is great because it's a virtual fishing derby. The entire thing will be held from your phone. Now, we did this back in April, and Armstrong was generous to sponsor our fishing derby then, and Armstrong's generous enough to do that again. And without them, we couldn't have these awesome prizes that we did for the kids and now the adults this time. But so how it goes is you download an app called Fish Donkey. And I know it sounds funny, but you won't forget it after you hear that. So it's all one word, Fish Donkey. And then you search Glade Run Lake and it will come up, and you can register shore fishing, or you could register by a watercraft. So you can bring your canoe, kayak, you know, motorized boat, whatever that is there. So you can participate in that. And there's going to be prizes for different categories. So if you're shore fishing, you don't have to get tied in with the people on the boats. But yeah, so that's going to go on throughout the whole day.
Is there a limit of how many fish, you know, you can catch, or, you know, what are some of the basic rules so that those listening, they might already understand that, but, you know, just a general description?
Absolutely. I know a virtual fishing derby is not the common way of doing a fishing derby, but nowadays we've adapted and we're going to continue on to do this stuff. So you can download the Fish Donkey app if you have an iPhone or an Android. So you could go in like you downloaded any other app. Like I said, search Glade Run Lake, and then you can register that way. So you could, like I said, shore fish, or you could be on the water in your watercraft. What you could do is it's going to be a catch photo release derby. So what you do, it's super simple. I mean, the kids did it the last time. So what you do is when you catch your fish, you take a picture of you holding the fish. So it just provides evidence that, yes, I caught this. I didn't catch this 3 weeks ago. And then what you'll do is you'll have your bump board. So that's like the giant ruler that when you fish, you'll see how big your fish is. And then you take another photo of it on the bump board, and then you just put in, oh, this bluegill was 6 inches, and that's it. And it's a live leaderboard, so you can actually, if you see you're in first place and someone bumps you out, you can stay a little bit longer to just keep fishing.
Well, that's clever. I didn't know that that's how they did it nowadays, and you know, what better way to do it? And I'm guessing you had success with your April one.
Absolutely. There were so many kids out there. It was actually shoulder to shoulder almost. It was really nice to see the kids and their families out there enjoying the day. We had a beautiful sunny day, which we're hoping for again, August 29th. But the fish will bite either way. So rain or shine, fish will bite. And something that's really big that I think the adults will like is that we have a partnership with Stick City. So Stick City is based out of Mars, and they're a local brewery. And they were generous enough to make a collaborative beer with us. So they made a special beer with us. It has our 10-year anniversary logo on it, and it has a photo from the lake actually on it. So it's really neat. The actual brewer, Nick, he's going to be there talking about it at the lake. And our friends over at Freedom Farms, I told you it was going to be a big day. So our friends, our neighbors, our properties touch each other. They offered to have Nick selling his beer over there. So Nick's going to talk about it with everyone. He's going to say all the ingredients that were in it. It's considered a PA preferred beer. So all the ingredients were actually grown here in Pennsylvania. So it's really neat to tie that together, being an environmental organization and Pennsylvania, everything, you know, it's really a special beer. to us and to him. So he's there to passionately talk about it. And while you're over there drinking your beer, the kids can go on a hayride. So Freedom Farms are going to have hayrides for the kids. So like I said, it's this huge event going on, and I'm excited about it. We've put a lot of hard work into it, and a lot of organizations and community members are coming together.
Holy smokes, what an event. Like, my goodness.
Right.
You had me at Stick City, and the partnership that you guys form with them. I can't even imagine. We have a fishing derby, food trucks, you name it. Holy smokes, this is amazing.
There's something for everyone.
You're not kidding whatsoever. And I know the most important question people are going to ask is this, any cost to come and attend?
So there is no cost to attend the event. The only cost that it would be the fishing derby, and that's $15 per adult. We're trying to make this a fundraiser for us. Siggy's going to talk about that a little bit later, what we're going to do with this new money from this event and how we're going to continue on with more fundraisers. But yeah, so you can come and enjoy the event. You can talk to people, have lunch with us, have dinner with us, enjoy the day.
Perfect. I know that you all are starting more events out at the lake. How can people find out about more upcoming events in the future?
So if they go to our website, it's www.GladeRunLakeConservancy.org. And it's a beautiful website. One of our board members has spent a lot of time on making this very user-friendly for people. If you want to know about events coming up, there's an event tab there. So it has everything that we're doing, this anniversary, current fundraisers we're doing with different stores in the community. And if you want to get involved more, or you want to know more, membership is actually free. And you'll see at the top of the page where it says membership, and you click that, and it's free to sign up to be a member. We're asking for a donation. If somebody has $5, if somebody has $50, we don't care. We just want you guys to know what's going on in the community so you can spread the word and support us. Even if you don't have the money, you can support us by sharing things. We're on Facebook as well. Like us on Facebook. We're always trying to do better on posting more pictures, more happenings at the lake, because everybody's on social media these days.
Oh, that's for sure. How can someone get more involved with your organization outside of just the membership?
Yes, so we're always looking for volunteers. There's many things at the lake. The fish and boat do a great job, but we are the liaison between fish and boat and the people. So we're out there saying what needs to be done at the lake. And one of the main things was we don't have a lot of litter, but we have a little bit. Not everybody's as kind to the environment as we'd like them to be. But every Wednesday at 11 a.m., we have a litter cleanup day at the lake. So if you meet at the pier at the lake, a board member will meet you there, and she provides the garbage bags and the gloves and tells you, where needs a little bit of TLC. And you can even bring your kayak and head out and try to get fishing line. There's always plenty of that everywhere. But that's a big way that we're looking for volunteers now. And like Siggy said, Eagle Scout projects, we never turn those down. There's always work to be done on the trail. So yeah, there's a little tab on there, volunteer too. So if you go up to the top of our page on the homepage, it says volunteer, you can click that.
One of the things I want to comment on that Karlee just mentioned is fishing line seems to be a major problem that we have up there at the lake. We have canisters placed strategically at fishing points that if you have extra line, put it in the canister, please. And we've had problems where birds have actually got tangled up in the line and have died. We've had a goose that recently, I believe, might have lost one of its legs because it was tied up in a line. So it's very important that fishermen and people out there fishing, the kids too, if they have extra line, don't just drop it on the ground, because a bird thinks it's something to make a nest out of, and it's not. And it's causing a lot of hazard to the wildlife out there, the birds. I actually think that responsible fishermen usually pick up their line, but occasionally you see people that just don't pay attention and they'll drop the line right there where they're fishing. That seems to be one of the biggest problems that we have. The other one, and one of our board members, Lisa Busa, did a great little blog, and it's on our website. Don't bring bread to feed the birds. It's actually very harmful for birds. It inhibits their growth process. If they're a young bird, it'll actually keep their wings clipped in so that they won't grow. There's no nutritional value in bread whatsoever for the birds. So please do not bring up bread to the lake and drop it off. And we've had people do that, and we've had to collect and throw it away. So those two areas are very areas of concern for us, let's say.
How do we correct that? Because I've always been told, hey, save your bread and feed it to the birds. So is there something that has been a misconception all these years?
Yes, it has. In fact, I'll direct you to the blog on our website. And I think the best thing for people to do is to go to that blog at our website, gladerunlakeconservancy.org, and look at some of the blogs we've placed in there. They're educational. They tell you about some of the fungus on the trees, gives you a little bit of history of some of the plants in the area. And it's meant to be informative. I think the best way to make people aware of this is to post signs, let them know that the fishing line is a hazard. Bread is not good. We're trying to do that, get some signs made. Fish and Boat allows us to get these signs made and placed. So we're in the process of doing that right now. But it's important that the people know that if they do these two things, pick up the line, deposit them, don't feed the fish bread, it's going to make the entire lake premises a lot better.
And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make sure that the URL inside of our episode today, people can click and it'll go directly to this blog. So we'll highlight that as, once again, you've taught me many things here today. And here goes another one. I never knew that bread is bad for wildlife.
Yes, it is.
Well, Siggy, where do you see the organization heading, and what are your goals in the next 10 years?
Well, presently we've embarked on a watershed project, and basically what that is we've determined around 2,000 acres surrounding the lake is part of the watershed. And what we're trying to do is preserve and protect. Those are the two key words: preserve and protect the properties and the streams feeding into the lake. One of the things that we've done, and it's going to be announced very soon, is we worked with a local landowner who donated 120 acres of her property to the lake as a conservation easement. And what that means is that she retains ownership of the land, but the assessed cash value of the property was given to us so we could leverage that for a grant with DCNR. It's a 50% match. We're hoping that we get this grant in November, because if we are lucky enough to get it, our plans and design is to purchase 53 acres adjacent to the existing lake park. And this 53 acres has Glade Run Creek, which is the main feeding source of water to the lake. It's a beautiful piece of property. It's got trails in it. It would just increase the size of the lake property from 150 plus acres to over 200 acres. We've worked it out with Fish and Boat that we could deed that property to them. They will take it over, incorporate it into the existing lake property, and there's virtually no maintenance on this property whatsoever. So that is one of the positive things we're doing, and it'll be announced fairly shortly, if not within the next week. But we are also talking to people about farm preservation. And what that is that if you have a farm of 50 acres or more, and you want to preserve it for farming purposes, you can apply for farm preservation, where the county and state will actually pay you a certain amount per acre for your farm land. You own the land, you don't give it up, but that means that you have to farm it in some capacity in perpetuity. And so that goes handed down to the next owner and the next owner after that. That's another way to preserve property around the lake. And we're working with the township diligently to get some riparian code placed into the township code, and also working with them with the zoning of the properties over there. Presently, I believe that the zoning is 1 acre, 1 house per acre, and development is fastly coming upon us. In fact, we have a development virtually a half a mile away from the lake and one of the streams that feeds the lake. So development is real, and it's something that is going to continue. We're trying to give people the opportunity to preserve their property if they so desire, whether it's a conservation easement or farm preservation. easement. And this is an opportunity for them to do that if they so desire. And I think it's a great opportunity for people because a lot of people don't want to give up the farm. They want to keep it and hand it down to their kids.
No, that's fantastic. And, I'm guessing your website, you'll have more information if people would like to learn more about that or the process to apply for that.
Yes, we do. We have another blog, our Vice President, Becky Miller, who's going to soon be leaving us to move back to Ithaca, New York. She wrote a wonderful piece on conservation easement, farm preservation, and the watershed. And I have a bunch of informational pieces in there on the website as well. If anybody wants to find out, all they have to do is send a question to us and we'll get it answered for them. But we're trying to work with the community, with local landowners, with the township, with the county and the state to make this a bigger and better place for future generations.
Oh, you're all doing a phenomenal job out there. Can we help support your mission for the additional acres as well?
Yes, as Karlee said, we're not pushing people for membership per se, but we are asking, and we will be going around on the celebration day, August 29th, asking for donations. We can only do as much as we have in our kitty, and we're supported by donations from various businesses, from individuals. We were lucky enough this past year, the Royal Grange was a group of farmers in the community that have been together for quite a bit now, I think. I think he had told me back in the 1920s they formed. They donated $53,000 to our organization, which allowed us to work with and hire Allegheny Land Trust personnel to do all the legal and background work for this conservation easement and to apply for DCNR for this grant. We're a group, there's 12 of us, we're all volunteers. We don't get paid. I've been doing this for 10 years, one of the founders of the organization. There's many hours that are put in, but we're not lawyers, we're not real estate agents or accountants, but we have the means to get people to do that and help us. And in this case, we decided that hiring Allegheny Land Trust, specifically Roy Cranack, who's their land acquisition person, was a prudent thing to do. And the Royal Grange's donation helped us to do that.
That's, I can't thank them enough because what you're trying to do is definitely thankless. So thank you so much because this is something that we need for many years to come, and we need this to continue to grow and sustain itself over time.
Well, we thank you, and I think the thank yous that we get, that's the way we feel good about what we're doing. Of course, we would feel just as equally good if people were throwing money at us. And I continue to try to pitch that to the local government and the county government and also the state anytime I can. In fact, I just had a conversation about a week ago with Mark Gordon, who's the head of their economic council up there. And I said, hey, Mark, don't forget about me. I'm a proven winner. And we're trying to do something else. And I explained the conservation easement and the grant application. So I said, hey, if you got extra change, throw it my way. Because it's true. Development is running rampant. It's come from Cranberry over to Middlesex. And it just is logical that you have a balance between development and a green space. And let's face it, Glade Run Lake is 150 acres. If we could double that in size, it would accommodate the more people that are coming into this area. And I've just said prior that we've done a traffic study and we have 3 times the amount of people visiting the lake now. And I think that's a great thing, but at the same time, you don't want to have it overpopulated too. You want to have enough area that they can walk and do trails. So we're looking for expansion as well. That's a key thing, but we need money to expand.
No, for sure. And at least, those numbers are showing that people have gotten the word out that, the lake exists and there's somewhere to go to enjoy that green space.
That's correct. That's correct.
Well, before I let the two of you go, is there anything else that you'd like to share today that we might not have gotten out there?
Yeah, Seth, I want to talk about just briefly again, just to remind everyone, there's still time. We are looking for sponsors. So there's different levels of sponsorship. If you go onto our website, gladerunlakeconservancy.org, under events, there's more information. But we're still taking sponsors. Again, that helps us run this event for everyone, and it goes into our kitty, like Siggy said, to hopefully purchase more land in the future. And we're looking for more fishing derby signups. So get out there, sign up for it. There's great prizes because of Armstrong donating they sponsored the fishing derby overall. So we have nice fishing prizes for everyone. Sign up in the Fish Donkey app. And if you have any questions, you can go to our website and there's a link there to ask us anything. So even after the anniversary, you can get involved. If you have questions, just shoot us an email.
And you, Siggy, anything else for us today?
Well, we started out, we had a small board, 7, 8 members, and now we're up to 12. I'm looking to make it 13, and we're looking to get some youth on our board. I'm probably the oldest member now. I just turned 69. I've been doing this for 10 years. That doesn't mean I don't have 10 more years in me. But what it does mean is we need to get an infusion of youth. Karlee's a good example of that. Another young lady, Lisa Busa, just joined us. She's very helpful. Our webmaster is Amy Jewett. She does a tremendous job, and she just took the website we had and basically canned it and put a whole brand new website together, which is just fantastic. So I would tell people, please go to our website. Please help us out. I don't like asking for money, but I have to do that in my capacity. So my feeling is that we, as a 501c3 nonprofit, if you make a donation, make us your donation, and you can write it off for your tax purposes. Although with taxes today, I know a lot of things have changed, but it's one of the areas that you can contribute to for your community. And you're doing something, because we're doing something to make it better every day. So if anybody wants to get involved, contact us through the website. We're going to appoint a new board member. We're losing our vice president. As I said, she's been a rock behind this conservation, easement, and farm preservation project. But people move on, and they have other things that they have to attend to. And we're bringing a new young lady on locally who has a lot of enthusiasm and is going to basically jump in and pick up the ball and run with it. And we're excited about that. So if anybody wants to get involved, we're open, and we're there. We meet once a month as a board, usually for about 2 hours, third Monday of every month. And we've maintained our organization and increased it, and actually, I feel, made it much better over the years.
Well, I thank you two so much. I want everyone to come out and attend on Sunday, August 29th, as you're going to have everything from food trucks to car crews and so much more. So I point everyone to your website, which will be in the notes as well. But congratulations on 10 years. And, here's hoping that we're here in 10 more years, having another one of these conversations.
Amen to that.
Thank you, Seth.
Thank you, guys. For Armstrong in the Loop podcast, I'm Seth Prentice, keeping you in the loop. Are you enjoying Armstrong in the Loop podcast? Great news! All past and current episodes are available on popular streaming apps and websites. Search Armstrong in the Loop podcast and subscribe today.